pleasure of sitting next to Marla and Tia. They are the founders of Sex Down South here in Atlanta. And I have to say, this is the first time that I've ever attended such a conference. But let me tell you, there is so much here for everybody. I love the idea that they're bringing the LGBTQ platform to a place where everybody has something that they can take away from this conference. The presenters, as they call what do you call them, the sexperts? I love that term. The sexperts are here, and they are a very diverse group as well. So no matter what it is that you're curious about in terms of your very own sexuality or other people's sexuality, this is a safe space in which to explore. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to meet Marla and Tia. First, I want you to introduce yourself and tell our audience what your background.
So I'm Marla, and my background, I grew up in California. I received my BA in psychology and minored in LGBT studies and human sexuality. And I came to Atlanta in 2004 for my graduate degree, where I received a master's in sociology with the emphasis on gender and sexuality. So I run my own sexuality education business called Velvet Lips, and Sex Down South is definitely Tia and I's baby. So it's really been amazing to be here. But that's a little bit about me. I'm also a lecturer at Cleveland State University.
Yes, I was going to say she's a college educator as well, which everyone needs to know as well. And Tia, it's a pleasure to meet you.
My name is Tia Mosley, Tia Marie on social media. I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I went to college for something completely different. And so I went to college for something completely different. I went to mass media arts. So my day job is in television, but it's just something that's always bubbling and flowing about intimacy, sexuality, acceptance, love, peace, pleasure, all those things. And so because I'm that parent, I wrote over to Marla and we created Sex Down South.
Now you have to tell me, how did you guys do this? How was this the brainchild? How was it created? What was the conversation? Was it I gotta know.
I don't even know what I remember anymore.
It wasn't like we sat down and had like a quest to achieve something.
Yeah.
We were sitting down just trying to figure out what it was we could have for people like us. We are very similar but very different. So we can teach each other things. Being queer is or straight is or whatever, name we call it. But we wanted a space to like a to join. So like, oh, we have a party, oh, we can do this, oh, we can do that. And it is really evolved into a conference over, we don't drink coffee, but it's like a coffee conversation.
Right.
We're sitting at a table, talking, and just the moon
Watching from there. That's what I was picturing in my head. It's like,
yeah.
I'm kind of frustrated
It's
about
the
that.
same person. Like sit down and say, I'm going to plan this 2-3-day thing. Just look at it piece by piece.
But
Yes.
That's how beauty is born. That's how
It's like we literally spoke it into existence, and then we made it happen
Along the way.
Along the way, yeah. And it's literally like we said it, and it manifested right before our eyes. It was so trippy, really, to see like this is coming, this and this and that, and the universe, and it was just like everything.
I love it.
It was really just amazing to see it, like, before your eyes, like, what? You're giving this to the universe? It's amazing.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
But there's also a need too. There's a need for education. There's a need to have a safe space to express sexuality. And also, I think this is a really good level playing field for people who are just interested in exploring. And I think this is fabulous. So you guys, while you were having this, table conversation, you're actually feeling a need that the universe needed to create.
Yes.
Now you have some pretty amazing people on your platform as presenters, as people who present workshops, and so forth, which by the way I'll do it next year.
Yes.
Can't do too many things at one time, so I do appreciate you offering. But tell us a little bit about your keynote speaker or any of the
So what we wanted to do is, when we started planning this conference, we were like, we want speakers. We should get one or two, but let's go for six because we know people are going to drop out. So let's go for 6 people. We went for 6 people. They were like, we'll all do it, and we were like, oh.
Like, oh shoot.
So we were like, oh, okay. But the way we chose the speakers, we had wanted to see Davey. We were like, we have to experience Davey's workshops. How would we make this happen? Like, we love her, we follow her. So she was a priority for us. And being a woman of color, we were like, she's it. And then I'm also a huge fan of Amy Jo Goddard and Tristan Taramino, who's a trailblazer in the sexuality education industry, just merging education with real raw sex and porn and everything. So I mean, yes. Yeah. And so, and Lee Harrington, from the Formula Conference, we had a crew that were like, oh, I'll be part of your crew. I'll be part of your crew. And one of our crew members suggested Lee Harrington, who was phenomenal, what a great speaker. And so we were really excited about him. And Dr. Ruthie, I teach workshops on art of dirty talk, so I was like, we have to get a dirty talk person. So Dr. Ruthie was really communicative around that, and Dr. Tamara Campbell Griffin, who was doing her own. She's a Black woman who is definitely a trailblazer in this industry as well, and so we were just like, please join us. And so everybody has all these different things about them that make them so unique and wonderful that it brings an element of differentness, but also acceptance and love and that's the sort of platform we have.
Which is actually the way I feel. I feel heterosexual, never experienced anything like this, and I have to say, my generation was the generation that nobody talked about sex, right? So it was like the walls would cave in if I walked through the door, right? But it was absolutely a safe space. How do you want people to feel once they meet you? What's your objective?
We want people to feel empowered. We want people to feel free. Part of coming in technically is to educate yourself about like what shame is like, what guilt is like. I know things take time, but this is things like hopefully eradicate our fear. You can go out into your personal life, you need to love the confidence.
Exactly, because there are a lot of people walking around in traumas, self-made or not, and this is a really wonderful place to be around like-minded people and learn a little bit more about yourself. I love that. Next year, any plans for next year?
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh yeah.
So what part can you share? Because I don't want to tell all.
The way I see it is I've been here for 15 years, and I'm going to say that Atlanta, Georgia is like the sun to the south. You know what I mean? Like this, the south, I'm going to say Georgia's not us.
Yeah.
And so like our outreach, I was trying not to consider like another thing like the south.
Yeah.
So I was trying to like expand, sing those songs out to Texas, Louisiana,
Yes.
and really to the outside of the south knows that we were riding tickets, so that we can just sort of expand and bring those people. Like we love the West Coast, we love the Northeast, we want you here too. But this is for the South. And so just to give a little bit more taste of the South is possible.
Yes.
I only see this getting bigger. I mean, first of all, let me say, your props. You guys did a phenomenal job the first time. It's phenomenal.
Yes.
It's well put together. It's very organized. People are in place. The hospitality is awesome. The technical crew is great. Presenters are great. And everyone that I've seen so far was here yesterday and today. I will be here tomorrow for it's a 3-day conference, which how did that happen? Why 3 days?
we work and educate during the day, and we like party at night. We had to have a balance. You know, we had to have balance.
Which, by the way, there are parties that
There are parties at night.
Yes.
That's kind of like the assumption. Some of these workshops are really work. It was up to me.
Yes.
That's why we created Good Balance, because Marla is an educator and I'm not. And so it's kind of like, I just want to like party and have fun, like in those workshop places. But some of the workshops are really work.
Yes.
Some people may be training. So sometimes you don't know that you're holding talent.
Right.
So it's like when that shows up, and so it's like you have all these hours of doing it, you need something to like wind down, to dance, to release it.
Can you tell me one other thing that you're looking forward to for next year? Will it be around this time of the year? Or is it
Yes, yes, this is definitely the best time of the year, and especially in Atlanta, we have beautiful weather right now.
Yeah.
And then, so next year, I think we're gonna bring on some, powerful speakers. We want to sort of hold that in for a moment, but people have already been like, I'm going to be there next year. I am going to present next year, and people have been reaching out, which has been amazing, and from all walks of the industry. So we are excited.
I'm hearing that it's time. We're supposed to be in a panel discussion in just a moment, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.